He was in an apartment that blew up.
He was in a meth lab, bro.
He was in
You
a
can say apartment that blew up. Nah, we're gonna say meth lab. We're gonna just say it straight. Yeah, we're gonna say it
Pebble
straight.
Ronnie, don't. I hope you don't watch this, but if you do,
He don't. He ain't gonna watch this. People that might know him can be like, "Hey, bro," but he don't.
All right, Pebble Ronnie was in a meth lab that blew up, and he told us that he was just there sleeping or something.
No, dude, he was like.
Welcome back to the Wood Panel, episode 3.
We are here.
I
didn't take anything out of my pockets or nothing.
I had to drag Buckwheat here, and then I asked him if he's got anything to talk about, and he said for the first time in his life, this is the first time he's speechless.
Yeah, bro. You know, it's tough. Like you said, doing it week in, week out. You kind of like, damn, I think I've talked about everything. But I haven't. I really can't. Damn.
Well, luckily I have a couple questions I want to ask you.
Oh God. This will be fun.
Let's just start off. I want to tell me something that you would change about your childhood, and what do you think it would change for your life right now?
As in, like, are you saying that I would like to change, or just saying something?
Well, like you would have changed about your childhood, either the way that you were raised, or who raised you, or something like that.
Oh man, that was shit. I'm gonna have to kind of like throw that answer off.
Well, mostly this is because I just interviewed my mom.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I was getting deep in my own childhood, and then I was like,
for sure,
I'd like to know what Buckwheat would
I would
think
have
about
to
his.
say there's not a whole lot that I would change, and only because, I'd seen everything as a kid.
Same.
So, if it was from drugs to, bro, I would wake up. I lived in section 8 houses when I was a kid.
You're dressed like it.
Yeah. Fuck this podcast, bro. I'll leave. That's funny. Yeah. No, I try to put a lot of effort into these outfits, bro, that I wear because I keep getting like trash talked to me. And we're in Logan's basement. He for some reason he gets so mad at Duke, doesn't pay his electric bill. So there's no heat down here.
Dude. For one, it's never that cold.
It's freezing down here. But like I said,
I could go shirtless.
I couldn't do that right now. It's cold. But yeah, dude, like I lived in Section 8 housing. Dude, it was bad. And still I wouldn't change it. But it was so bad that, I was like 6. I'd wake up in the middle of the night. Hell, you were there. We wake up in the middle of the night and you would just meet new people.
Dude, I would be in there and people would be like, "Who are you?" And I'd be like, "Who the hell are you?
Who the hell are you, bro?"
And dude, I'll just never forget the Section 8. I guess it was like concrete floors, but like the tile concrete like you would have in a classroom.
Oh yeah.
And it was freezing on your feet. You'd have to be wearing socks
for sure.
You'd be scooting through there, and I would remember hearing people walking through there at all times of the night. You just learned to sleep through it because, like...
Yeah, but like I said, I wouldn't change anything because that's definitely steered me away from that. I mean, just that entire lifestyle. Just the entire... if I was an outsider looking in, that's what made me, go away from drugs. That all showed me that...
That's true.
If you follow this path that all these people are doing...
This is how you're going to end up.
This is where you're going to be, yeah. So and that's where I was like... Heck no, bro. I wouldn't change anything. I loved, and everything that I went through was really fun, for real. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't cool when we didn't have milk and I was, eating cereal with water, but
dude,
that's if it was left. That was if it was left. But
when you tell me you ate cereal with milk, with water, but also with coffee, mate.
I still do that.
That's insanity, bro.
I'm glad you brought that up. That is a...
I think you should tell some of the concoctions that you eat just because.
For sure, just because of how I was raised, yeah. So, I would wake up in the middle of the night. I lived in Metaview. We called it Getaview. Literally. It was just the Section 8 and
Shout out.
Yeah, hey, shout out to Metaview, bro. Yeah, so I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and I still do this. I still wake up in the middle of the night. I don't think I've ever in my life slept the entire night. Seriously.
That's insane.
That's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that people do. That's crazy. That's what's crazy to me. But so I wake up in the middle of the night. I'm always hungry. I always get hungry in the middle of the night. So I'd always get up in the middle of the night, and if we had it, we would have SpaghettiOs. You know, and my favorite ones were the ones from Save-A-Lot, which Save-A-Lot ain't around here no more. But
dude, that is.
It was the green can. But those were the cans that you would have to like get a can opener and twist it.
Oh yeah.
So it was just a lot of work in the middle of the night. You know, yeah. I'm like this doing everything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I would get up in the middle of the night and I'd eat SpaghettiOs out of the can. I wouldn't heat it up because for one, there probably was no bowls washed.
Yeah.
If we had bowls, seriously, I would probably eat it if we did have a bowl.
I'm not saying that you did because
if we did have a bowl, it was like the butter bowls that we would save.
Dude, you guys had the butter bowls, but
Still
you guys also
those.
had, for some reason, had those the bowls that had like the straw built in, and you could like drink the milk from the cereal. That was fire.
Those are fire. Yes. Yeah. So I would eat it out of the can, cold, never heat it up.
Yeah.
And it was just that was so quick. I could get up in the middle of the night, eat that, and then just go straight back to bed. If we didn't have SpaghettiOs, I would turn to cereal, and I didn't eat a whole lot of cereal and water, like he said. My grandmother raised us, which is basically my mom. She tried her best to keep everything in there. It was the people that was coming in that was the reason we didn't have anything. It wasn't because my Denise wasn't working or something. It was because she was, usually the only one working.
She was never there.
And then she was never there because she was working.
30 people
and there's
through there.
I'm not kidding you. 30 people would walk in there and, you'd be like, who are you? And you'd be like, who the hell are you? I would be like, this is my fucking house. Who are you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, well, I'm with Randy.
Yeah, I'm Randy. I'm Cody's friend.
Yeah. I'm with Chai, which was Ryan's boyfriend then. I'm like,
okay, well, I live here.
Well, yeah. Can you save me some fucking cereal?
Just save me some cereal.
Yeah. So if I did have cereal, I'd use Coffee Mate, the original, the red lid.
And the thing about how you eat is you literally dump so much. You keep a salt shaker in your vehicles. That's crazy.
I get that now. That is something I get. I would say on my dad's side. My
That's
grandpa
crazy.
does it. My dad, my grandmothers, all of my aunts on my dad's side, all of them, they all do that. Yes, I do love salt.
All of your aunts do that too.
They all have salt shakers in their cars, just like us.
That is
weird. Bro.
That is
weird.
The Kinman salt shaker. You need your own salt shaker, bro, because I swear.
Yes.
Like, dude gets a steak and then it starts like doing this. And then does it again.
And the good salt is the one that's like powdery. I don't like the sea salt stuff.
Yeah.
The one that can come out fast, that's the one you want. Yeah, that's the one you want.
That's insane to me, dude.
But yeah, getting back to the way we grew up it was so cool for real. Like honestly, it wasn't like I would not want that for my kids or anything like that. But
well, what things from your childhood do you think you'll be able to give your kids?
That I didn't have?
Well, no, like what types of things that you learn that you'll be able to give to them and they'll be able to use?
You have to reword that, brother. I don't understand what you're saying.
like some of the lessons that you learned or something that you have like that you held on to that like you can give to your kid and he's gonna be like, oh, I didn't have to go through that, but my dad did, and I'll be able to learn from that.
Structure. I didn't have that. I never had structure. Like we said, I think in episode 1, I ran the streets, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't have structure. Denise couldn't give me structure for one because she was too busy of being mom and dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was tough for her. So no hate on her. My grandpa, he just kind of was a drifter. He did what he wanted. He worked sometimes and he didn't. He broke his back at one point. He was in and out of, maybe some drugs. I ain't really sure what he did.
And he's just such a wild man.
He was so wild. And, people would say that he was doing some stuff, and I would be like, no, he ain't. And then I still to this day, I don't think. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He's so good at hiding stuff.
Dude, I don't know. He was in an apartment that blew up. And
he was in a meth lab, bro.
He was in
apartment that blew up? Nah, we're going to say meth lab. We're going to just say it straight. Yeah,
Pepperoni I hope you don't watch this, but if you do,
He don't. He ain't gonna watch this. People that might know him can be like, "Hey, bro," but he don't.
All right, Papa Ronnie was in a meth lab that blew up, and he told us that he was just there sleeping or something.
No, dude, he was like this. He was like, "No, I was there dropping somebody off. I'm in there. I'm not lying about this. I'm in there, and out of nowhere, Chuck Dills comes in. Everybody got guns drawn, saying, 'Get on the ground.'
Yeah.
And he's like, 'What the hell are you doing here?' He's like, 'What the hell are you doing here?' And then he's like, 'All right, well, are you taking me to jail?' And they're like, 'No.' And then he starts walking out. This is his story. I ain't really sure what went down. He was like, out of nowhere, they screamed meth lab, and I was in jail. He's like, obviously, I didn't want none of the meth or anything. I'm like,
well,
you're telling me you're at a meth lab when it got busted, and you didn't know there was a meth lab?
That's crazy.
Yeah, he said they were all talking while they were in there. He was like, 'Don't you think if there was a meth lab, we should get the hell out of here?' He told the cops that. I swear, he told the cops that.
If this was a meth lab, I think we need to get the hell out.
Bro, he's like, 'All I know is if this is a meth lab, we should get the hell out of here.' They still took his ass to jail, though.
Dude, when I would see you guys, I didn't understand like how crazy he was until you guys were running around the fair and he's got a leash and I'm like, oh damn, he got a dog. And I look at the end of the leash and I'm like, that's Buckwheat on that leash, dude. I was like, Papa Ronnie's got Buckwheat on a leash. I'd be like, hey, can Buckwheat come off his leash and play?
He would never let me go anywhere just because he knew I was gone. If you let me go, I was gone.
Dude, talking about him, tell the story though tell the hunting story.
I will tell it. Before I say that, back to your question. No, I wouldn't change anything. And to throw in on the other question you had, structure, bro. Just because I did what I wanted, and I didn't know that the things you should be doing at that age.
Yeah,
I was just running the streets. I came in when I wanted. I didn't do anything wrong. I wouldn't have drugs or anything.
But that freedom too let you see and meet a lot of people.
For sure.
And you learn that like you won't be so tight on your kid where it's like you can't be out running the roads, blah blah blah. It's like it ain't that bad. The world changed, but
and it was really cool that Denise she trusted me. She thought that, I would never do anything wrong, as in that would get me hurt. And that's nice. You would think that I would have been doing some crazy stuff, but it's really the kids that are structured, that ain't allowed to do a whole lot, and then that find themselves out and about with their friends, and are like, "Hey, you want to try this once?" And then
it's like, the people that have been through it are like, "Nah, I seen what that can do."
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm cool on that. The last person I seen do that was dope folded in my couch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude, he didn't wake up 2 days.
Lawn chair.
He was cool. But yeah, that I wouldn't change anything. But this hunting story,
dude,
this is gonna
story
be fun.
One of my fun stories.
None of this is made up. Look it up. Look it up.
And Buckwheat was there.
I was there on a leash. I was there on a leash again. Did you ever see before we get into that, you ever see those memes where the black people's like, white people, quit putting them leashes on your kids?
Yes, that was you.
Yeah, that was my family. So
yeah.
I don't know why we did that. It was just old Buckwheat on a leash is what it was. But so we were in Williamstown, Kentucky at my grandmother's farm out on Wayne Scott Road.
Yeah.
And it was me, my Uncle Cody, my Aunt Ryan, and her boyfriend, and my grandfather, Ronnie One. And we're rabbit hunting. My Uncle Charlie's got his dogs. They're running around and stuff, and that was my first time ever rabbit hunting, and I actually haven't been back since.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna go rabbit hunting.
Yeah, actually, I haven't been gun hunting since this.
Yeah,
I've always went bow. I mean, this shit is wild. So, anyway, when you're rabbit hunting, I don't know if I'm right on this, but it makes sense. So, if you say you're on a baseball field and you're at first, second, third, everybody's trying to shoot home.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how you're walking.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
I didn't either, but it makes sense to me. And that's
it sounds like it makes sense.
Walking pretty much in this line.
Yeah.
These dogs running around, and you're shooting forward. That's how nobody gets shot.
Yeah.
That and you wear orange, which we did not do.
You guys are not wearing orange.
My Uncle Charlie was. And I think that's all I remember. I swear, I'm not making this up.
Well, Charlie, he didn't get shot.
Charlie didn't get shot. So, we're all walking, and, you know, the dogs bark. My Uncle Charlie yells, rabbit, right? So I think my grandpa's the only one got a gun. Me and Cody were just walking behind him, but Cody wasn't on a leash because he was older. I wouldn't say a leash, but it was definitely a rope that was tied to me and him. So however you want to call that, we can just say leash.
You guys were roped in together.
Yes, we were roped together, and you know, Uncle Charlie yells, rabbit. Dogs are barking. My grandpa shoots 3 times. Boom, boom, and then does it again. Boom, and all you hear is just like a freaky scream, and it's Ryan screaming, and we're like, oh shit. So my grandpa, I'm not lying, grandpa takes off running. Forgets I'm with him. Drags me. I'm getting dragged. I'm hitting every stick. Swear to God. Just hitting everything. I finally get back on my feet, and then I start running with him. We finally take that off of us. We get to Ryan, and where Ryan is, and her boyfriend was Josh at the time. And apparently my grandpa shot Josh.
Oh my God.
Shot Josh and Ryan. Josh was worse off, but Ryan was just shot too. And I mean, I was like 5, 4. No, I was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And all you could see when he was there, he was put up against this tree. So say I'm him and he's on this tree, sitting on the ground. Ryan's over here screaming. And he was in this button up shirt, right? Like something that you would wear to a rodeo or something, just something nice, kind of,
right?
With like pearl button ups. Anyway, you couldn't describe what the shirt was. It was pretty much just all cut up.
Yeah.
My Uncle Charlie gets down there and finally get the shirt off of him. Dude was blasted.
Yeah.
Was like blasted. Got blood coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's dead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's dead.
he's dead.
So they get me and Cody out from what was going on. So Josh was shot in the face and the chest, mostly the chest right here.
Golly, dude.
Ryan was shot in the face, in the boob. Pretty much just like from boob up.
Yeah.
Is where she was shot. But she didn't even know she was shot.
Yeah.
And nor did we. We just thought the blood that she was having was from him because she was standing with him. Right?
Yeah.
So they finally get us back up to the top of the hill. Bobby Webb, I think, was a cop at the time. He was working it, and he was like, all right, the bird's coming. So he was getting airlifted, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Bobby's he going to make it? Me at 7, because I knew Bobby.
Yeah.
Cody was sitting there, and my grandpa's, we're all talking about if he's going to make it. Bobby's like, probably not. I was like, oh, my God. You know what I mean? The story gets better. So after all that happened, apparently they were, not in the first, second, third place. They were pretty much in a triangle.
Yeah.
Because that's what Ryan said. This is what Josh said. I ain't talked to Josh probably since then.
Yeah.
That, they were just walking in the wrong time, right? The wrong place at the wrong time. And, they yelled bird. They said, Bobby said all three shots my grandpa shot him.
Daggone.
Yes. He got airlifted. I should have started off the story. My grandpa is a felon. At the time, shouldn't have had a gun.
Yeah.
Dude,
you can't have a gun.
Can't have
as
a gun.
A felon if you don't know that.
Can't have a gun as a felon. Ain't allowed shooting him. He was a felon. And before this, I don't know if I ever told you this, and my grandpa wasn't being serious, but we were talking about it while we were walking through the woods. I'm not kidding. Hopefully they don't come back for this.
Because they were asking him, like...
he was like, I'm not allowed to have a gun. Me being 7, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I think not Logan, but Cody was like, maybe 14.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something, yeah, 14. And we're both talking to him like, Dad, why ain't you allowed to have a gun? You know what I mean? And my grandpa's funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He always says the dumbest shit. He wasn't being serious, but he was like, because sometimes, Buckwheat, I just shoot people. I'm like, what are you talking about, Papa? And I swear, 10 minutes after that, Josh and Ryan was shot.
Yeah, but what did he tell the police? Because they were like...
He was like, he was like, this was my dad's gun, and I'm leaving with my daughter and going to see Josh. And I'm not going to jail. Swear. And I'm like, he's going to jail. You know what I'm saying? He's going to jail.
Straight to jail.
He did not go to jail for that.
Wow.
Josh ended up living. I know still to this day, you know, when people get up and they stretch.
Yeah.
Because I remember when, I guess I did see him a little bit after that because he did make it and stuff. But when he would stretch like this,
Yeah.
you would see bumps of BBs because they can't get all of them out.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yes, I'm sure that Josh still has one behind his eye.
Yeah.
Somehow it got in his eye, somehow behind his eye. They never got that one out. And Ryan had one in her cheek, but I think they got that out. But yeah, he made it. She was okay. My grandpa never went to prison again because he was already in prison for murder.
Dude, just talking about the woods. First, you need to think about a Metaview story because you got to find the one Metaview story to tell. But I wish I would have said this while my mom was here. But Dakota would always ride. The woods remind me of this story. Dakota would always ride my 4-wheeler, and every time it would end up broken, which pissed me off so much, dude.
Yeah.
My handlebars would be bent.
The yellow one, right?
Yeah, the yellow one. And he would always be like, I'm not wrecking, I'm not doing that. And I was like, oh, okay. So he takes my mom out on a ride. And he's down there like, bam, and he's like looking back at mom like, yeah, that's cool, ain't it? And there's like this huge embankment, and they hit it. And like as they go down, obviously mom, they hit like the side of the embankment. Cody hits it, just kind of falls off where he is. And he said mom, at this point, she was like 90 pounds, took off flying over him and like 10 feet up and hits the ground. And Cody, you know, it all happens real quick. He goes, looks around, he's like, Mom, you all right? And he said she gets up like, oh, shit. Her shirt's hanging out, her titties hanging out. And he said, I didn't see that coming, did you? She's like, hell no. Dude, I was like, what the hell? So from that day forward, I sold that 4-wheeler to Hunter Lawson, and I was like, dude.
Bro, I'm glad you brought that up. Dakota brought me out to Mammal 18 one day, bro. And he was like, let's go ride this thing. I'm like, he's like, you know how to ride? I'm like, of course.
Never rode one in your life.
I rode a 4-wheeler, but I rode dirt bikes, and they had clutches. All clutches are kind of different, but kind of the same.
Yeah.
And he's ramping this. We go down and you're all in the holler at Mammal 18s, and he's ramping. He's ramping up this hill, and I'm like,
I made that hill.
Let me try that, bro. Give me that. He's like, you think you're gonna do? I'm like, I'm all out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ramp this thing. And I ramp it, and I landed it on a tree.
Yeah, my 4-wheeler.
Yeah. So I'm saying like a tree was probably, you know, like this thick. You know what I'm saying? Just this round. And when I say landed on a tree, when I came down, it was stuck like this. It was broke.
Dude,
we broke it.
Yeah. Luckily, I bought everything with lifetime warranty, so it would be easy to get fixed. Another time, I was riding it, and like those embankments went up, but then at the top, it kind of like bent back like that.
Yeah, you have to give it all it's got. Coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back. So I kind of got scared halfway up, and I like stopped,
and it came back,
and the thing started coming back, and I was holding it like this, dude, and I could feel my shoulders starting to give out, and I was like, oh, dude, my 4-wheeler is going straight back, so I had to let it go, and it rolled, and I was like, man, Hunter, you definitely didn't get a straight 4-wheeler, dude.
No,
my entire family wrecked that 4-wheeler.
Yeah, we definitely did some crazy things. But the best Metaview story I can think of, I'm pretty sure you were there, but I was pretty young. The whole entire town, not the town, the whole entire pretty much neighborhood, dude, everybody's out there.
We have to explain. Yeah, Metaview is Section 8.
Yep.
And it's like these attached like townhouses basically, but they're like
there's a downhill and there's an uphill.
Yeah. The downhill, like everyone's facing, like there's
it's just like it's basically like a door, 3 windows, and then the next apartment.
Yeah,
door, so 3 windows, the next apartment.
In the summer, would just be sitting outside, like it would be just lined up. And
yeah, just kind of everybody knew everybody.
Yeah, you could walk down and it'd be like different kids to play with, and like people are, everyone's different, and it was just like dude,
it's really cool. I wouldn't want to grow up anywhere else.
It was cool because it's like there's so many kids.
There were at the time.
There's always people outside,
and nothing was good, so it was all fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything was fun.
Always something going on there.
But it was like I would say it was a weekend, and it was in the summer, and everybody's out. I'm pretty sure everybody's drinking and stuff, and
In the middle of the
somehow the
day.
boxing gloves came out,
Oh, dude.
and I mean, hell, I was like, still probably like 7 or 8, and my grandpa. My grandpa's still pretty fit for how old he is.
Dude, I don't know.
His arms are still pretty fit and stuff. So back then he was pretty much him. He was
Yeah, he was.
So
How's he so fit and doesn't work out?
I don't know. I would say it's just genetics. I never got to meet Papa Bubby,
Yeah.
but he was. They say Papa Bubby looks just like my grandpa, so that's where I would imagine that came from. But so all these young kids are boxing.
Yeah.
I'm talking, and when I say young kids, they're in their teens.
Yeah.
And they're boxing. I wasn't old enough to box anybody.
Right.
So, and this young kid, his name was Shane. He was probably in his 20s. And he
Yeah.
was beating up on all.
I wasn't there for this one.
No, he was. I can't think of his last name, but his name was Shane, and he just thought he was him.
Yeah.
So they're all boxing. He's not. He's kicking everybody's ass. You know what I'm saying? Cody gets in there, and I think he beat Cody up, and Cody was probably 16, 17.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Shane was like 20, 21.
Yeah.
Anyway, my grandpa came out, and Shane's like, "You want it, old man?" My grandpa was like, "Absolutely." So my grandpa slipped on these gloves on the side of Section 8 housing,
That is hilarious.
and
dude.
they're going at it. They're boxing.
Was he getting any licks on him?
What, Shane?
No,
No, they're basically just like rotating, right? They're just rotating. They're throwing in their little jabs. They're throwing their little girl jabs. Out of nowhere, my grandpa opens up with this just hook. Knocks the dude out. Slept this dude.
Dude,
And took the gloves off, threw it over top of him, walked away.
that's hilarious.
Not kidding, mate.
Dude, that's how you walk. That's how you walk it off. How many characters can you remember from Metaview?
I could start naming off a bunch.
I remember Wheelchair Andy,
Love him.
who he'd be.
He was. I don't know. He wasn't always crippled. He wasn't always a paraplegic. He was like 18. He was a truck driver, got in a bad wreck,
Okay.
and everything was just after that. Everything was just done for, other than his neck up. He couldn't.
Now he's your grandpa's
could-
best friend.
Yeah, he was he was basically my uncle. He's still alive. I just haven't seen him in forever. My grandpa says he talks to him all the time. I want to
You
go
need
see
to
him.
go see him.
I do need to go see Andy because we lived down the hill, and then we finally was like, oh shit, we're about to go up the hill. We're about to meet them. You know what I'm saying? We get our own house. We get our own rooms. Okay. I still didn't get a room, but we were there. You know what I'm saying? We got to go up the hill. Andy stayed down there. So when I went down the hill to play, Andy was always the house. I can go in and get something to eat, something to drink.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to run all the way back up the hill. So, yeah. So there was always Wheelchair Andy.
Who was smoking? I'll never forget this. He'd always
Have
his
this.
hands would be moving.
Yeah.
They would smoke a cigarette out of a bent fork.
He would have this little handle he had. Like, I don't know if they
Like
make them for
Captain
people
Hook or
that,
something.
because his hands are pretty much just stuck
yeah.
like this. So he had this little gadget that would go over his hand and would stick right here,
Yeah.
and he could stick a fork in this thing. I'm telling you, the redneckest thing I've ever seen in my life. Put a fork in it, and he bent the fork to where he
To
could
fit a
stick a damn
cigarette.
cigarette in there, and he would always be like,
But
"God damn it, Ronnie!" That's what he would say. Swear to God. And then if he got excited, he'd be shaking. He'd be like, "God damn it, Ronnie!" Yeah, I swear, bro, he would do that. And I was like, "What's going on? What's going on? Why is he shaking?" He'd be like, "It'll quit in a minute. It'll quit in a minute. It'll quit in a minute."
would you
I'm-
try to get him excited like a fainting goat and try to get him
No, I
laughing?
didn't know. He would just get excited. It wasn't like us getting him excited. He would just get excited and then his shit just start going. So yeah, you got him, and then you had another Andy, which we called him Gummy Andy because he didn't have
Yeah.
no teeth.
Gums.
You
That's
got
all I
Gums.
never knew. That's all I ever
I
knew.
always called him Gums.
And then I always thought that he was Andy's son because his name was Andy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are related. I think they are related. I think it's like his nephew or somehow, some way.
Yeah.
And I knew Andy's and Andy's their whole family. You got the Rowlands, which was Cody Rowland, Emily, Abigail. Who else we had?
There was kids that lived like over in the corner. That kid was name was Trent.
You're talking about Trent and Trent Shaw.
Maybe.
It is, and I think his brother was damn, because I do know who you're talking about because what's her face was talking to him, Kayla Cummins. Sorry, but yeah, Kayla Cummins was talking to him. And she's like, "How you know him?" I'm like, "I'm pretty sure his brother's only got like 4 fingers on one hand," and it's him. I don't know if it's Derek or Dustin or something Shaw, but it's Trent Shaw is who you're talking about.
That's crazy that you even remember that.
Yeah, it's Trent Shaw. But you got those guys. You got Zach Sawyer, bro. He was a lifer too. He was there when he was my age. We was born there and came up.
Yeah. David Gillespie.
David.
Dude, David. I wonder what you're doing, David. Hit me up, bro.
Yeah, you got David. His brother Steven.
Yeah.
Which they were always good people.
Oh yeah.
Who else?
A gang of characters, dude.
Yeah. Oh, the McDaniels, Terry.
Oh yeah, Terry McDaniel. Dude. Terry McDaniel, the fastest kid in Metaview, dude. That dude,
he was, hey, I'm telling you, he was the only dude that if you had a problem, it was on site. I don't know if he could fight or not, but he was there. He was there, and he was the kind of guy that would never stop.
Dude, he was so fast. That's like his favorite thing to do. He's like, "You want to race me from this playground to that playground?" I was like,
I don't know if he played baseball. That was like one of his favorite sports.
Not really.
We would go to his house and play like a home run derby.
Really?
That was the coolest. Dude, that was my most funnest time. Is playing a home run derby or smear
the guy.
Yeah, smear the That is balls. I hate that.
Smear that guy.
Yeah, smear that guy. That's so lame, bro.
I don't make the rules. I just play.
Follow him. I just follow him. Yeah.
Seriously, I don't get fined.
We play that. There wasn't nothing more fun than playing that. There was a little basketball court over there. We played football in the snow. That was pretty fun.
Dude, Terry McDaniel. This is a funny story about Terry McDaniel. So when wrestling first started, it was the first year of wrestling, and we probably had like 40 kids because everybody wanted to be part of this team at first because I think they thought it was like WWE. So it was like, you show up and everybody's like, "Where's the ropes?" And you quickly learn like, "Oh, this crap's hard. It's not fun.
This isn't
So me and Terry, we obviously knew each other from Metaview, and we each know like one move. So we're out here slamming on each other, hitting each other in the head, and starting to getting hot.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Earl Breeden's dad. It's his favorite story about me because after this they stopped letting parents be in the cafeteria, or no, this was like the family night. This is when you have to like come see what it was and stuff like that.
Like orientation kind of thing for the parents.
So Terry, he's hitting me in the head, and after a while we start getting mad. And I get up, and I'm like, "I'm about to beat your ass," and I was like, "You don't know who I am." And I just kept saying that over and over for some reason, like I was someone that you should know who he was, and I wasn't. I was like, "You don't know who I am."
You don't get it.
And then I looked around, and I'm like, "Oh, none of these people know who I am." So, long story short, nothing really happened. But
I never knew that story.
Now, every single time Big Earl sees me, he goes, "You don't know who I am? You don't know who I am?" And I'm like, "Come on, Earl. Like, can you drop it yet, bro?"
That's actually funny. I never knew that story.
Yeah, Terry McDaniel, he about got it. Terry, we might have to run it back. We might have to run a wrestling match back.
There was one person I hated, and I hate to mean word. I was a bad kid, and when I mean bad, I just really didn't listen. I didn't do nothing too crazy, but I was a bad kid, and it was Barb. She was the manager of the housing. She was the woman that drove around in her maroon van.
Dude, I remember
and
this.
She would. I had a dirt bike. Somehow, some way, I got a dirt bike.
She was the rule enforcer.
Yes, and somehow I had a dirt bike in Section 8 housing. I had no idea how that happened, but I had one, and we don't have a yard.
Yeah,
we didn't have a yard. I don't know why the hell they got that. But
you were supposed to start racing dirt bikes at one point.
Yes. Anyway, I had it, and I would ride it all. I mean, on the street, in her yard, anybody's yard.
Yeah.
Wherever I found grass, I was driving it.
She lived in there?
She lived in there. Yeah, she lived in there too. And I mean, if it was just playing basketball, we had a basketball goal on the side of the sidewalk, and then obviously the street was where we played.
Yeah.
Now we wasn't holding traffic up. When the car came, we got out of the road. And
dude, I used to hate seeing how many. I was like, why are so many people coming through Metaview?
Yes.
Our basketball games would be interrupted so many times.
Yeah, all the time. Anyway, when she drove by, she would be like, "Now you need to take that down. You can't play right there now. You can't be playing that. You got to take it in your yard." I'm like, you want me to play basketball on grass?
Some people had basketball goals in the grass.
Yeah, I was like, you want me to play basketball goal on the grass? You want me to play
Actually,
that?
we moved yours in the grass
I
for a
had
while.
to. Yeah, I had to because she wouldn't stop. But in the end, now I did like her. Now I like her now. She was really nice. I think she's passed away now. But
Really?
she was nice now because I talked to her after I grew up and everything.
Yeah.
She gave me a hard time, but it was probably just
She's like,
better
I'm just doing my job. But
yeah, she was just doing her job. But yeah, she was so hateful to me when I was a kid. I felt like, I got another story real quick. Then we can get on to something else. But this is crazy.
Okay.
Kid didn't live in Metaview, but he lived on Judith Street.
Okay.
Which is pretty much, you got two ways you can go into Metaview. You got Ray Street and you got Judith. You go down, you can go around, and they connect.
Yeah.
And then you can go down Metaview, which is where BC Cotton on that side. And that's Ray Street and just goes all the way down. And it all loops around together.
Yeah.
Kid lived right before Judith Street. No, on Judith Street at the end, right before you got to BC Cotton. And he would come down and play with us. With me and the neighbor.
I think I remember this kid.
Yes.
I can't think of his name.
There's a couple kids. This kid, I ain't sure. I think he had like a speech impediment, but other than that, he was really normal.
Yeah.
And, pretty much bullying me. We were playing basketball, and he was bigger than me, obviously, because I was younger. And I wanted to do something. He wouldn't give me the ball.
Yeah.
And that was it was springtime. So that Christmas, I got a BB gun. This is not a kid. I'm not kidding. Got a BB gun. He was bullying me, and I was like, can I have the ball? And he was like, wouldn't give me the ball.
Yeah.
Take it from me. Take it from me. Come get the ball. I'm like, I can't. Dumbass, give me the ball. You know what I'm saying? You're bigger than me. I ain't gonna get the ball. You better give it to me.
Yeah.
He wouldn't give it to me. So I was like, okay. If you don't give me that ball, I'm gonna go inside and get my BB gun. I'm shooting you with it. Swear to God, I said this. He was like, no, you ain't. I'll just run home. So the way these houses were set up,
two doors.
Yeah, it
on each
was
side.
front and back.
Yeah.
And the street is right here. So the side of the house was street side.
Yeah.
So like the front of the house wasn't
Yeah.
the front of the street. Yeah. So if you go out the back door, that's the top of the street. You can see his house. If you go to the front door, you're just looking at the next door neighbor's house. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you better give me that ball. He wouldn't give it to me. So he took off. I'm like, dumbass. I got the gun at the back door.
Yeah.
Because I would shoot animals in the back. That's terrible, but I would. I mean, cat, dog, anything I got a hold of, I was shooting it. So anyway.
People are going to hate you.
I know, bro. I'm sorry. I was a kid. Anyway, I ran in the house, got to the back door, and he's running. I can still see him running. My BB gun had a sight on it. Go run faster. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, take off running. He takes off running, but he only made it to the top of BC Cotton. And when I lived there, it always said Metaview Estates on the sign. And it was probably, nowadays it was probably up to my waist. That's how tall it was off the ground.
Yeah.
But imagine a sign, it had two legs. You could see under it. Sign, you can see over it.
If you tell me you shot this guy.
Well, I definitely did. Just wait.
You've been playing too much Call of Duty, bro.
So he was being mean, and he took off running. I got back there, and I shoot one shot while he was running. Obviously, I ain't hitting him because I'm not him. I wasn't him. He finally gets down. He gets behind that sign, and I'm telling you, he's behind the sign, just hiding. And I seen a piece of his foot stick out the bottom of it. I shot it. Shot his foot. All you heard was, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, got him. You know what I'm saying? Stuck the gun back in the little shed thing we had back there. Shut the door, locked it. Went to my room. I would say 4 hours go by. No, I would say 2 hours go by. His dad comes down.
Yep.
And my real dad was in town at that time.
Yeah.
And that's Ronnie too. So he's a character. So knocks on the door. My dad answers. He's like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Your kid shot my kid with a BB gun." And my dad was like, "No, he didn't," because I told him I didn't. And the kid's dad was like, "I have it. He's got a hole in his foot. He did shoot him in the foot with his BB gun." My dad was like, "I would recommend you take your ass up the street before you get shot with a BB gun." I swear, I'm standing here. He said this.
I'm saying it. That dude's goofier than heck.
4 hours after that, so it's 2 hours later. State police knocking on the door. And Dad yells for me. I'm crying.
Yeah.
Because I know I shot him. but he deserved it at the time. And I was really young. I don't know how young I was.
Did you go to jail?
With this, no, I didn't go to jail. Absolutely not. So I go out there. Cop's like, "Is your name Buckwheat?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, Did you shoot that kid in the foot with the BB gun?" I'm like, "Yeah." And my dad was like, after he was asking me the questions, my dad would just reiterate the question to me. He'd ask it. Dad was like, "Buckwheat, you shoot that kid with the BB gun?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he asked my dad, and he asked me, he's like, "Buckwheat, why would you shoot that kid in the foot with a BB gun?" And I'm young.
Yeah.
And I answered, and I'm like, "It was the only thing I saw." My dad, I swear to God, I'm with a straight face. Dad starts laughing. The cop starts laughing. Then my answer was that was the only thing I saw.
Dude,
my dad says, "Good thing his head wasn't poking out." I swear to God. And that BB gun got broke over the tree, and I never got to hang out with that kid again. But he did have a hole in his foot. It was the new BB gun at the time. It was when not the circle ones. It was the arrow. I don't know what them are called.
Yeah, it's like an airsoft, like a pellet.
Like a pellet. Yeah, just say pellet, not a BB. Probably a pellet. But
that's almost a bullet.
Basically, yeah. I shouldn't have shot the kid. He was being mean at the time. Bro, I lived in Metaview. What do y'all expect?
Those times are the scariest time when you run home. So I lived on Spillman Drive, and you remember Ricky and Wyatt Kidwell?
Oh, yeah.
So they lived up the road from me, and they were obviously younger, and we were throwing like mud balls back and forth. And we were so far away that you never thought you would hit one of them because you're like, you're just kind of like just throwing blanks. You're not going to hit them.
Yeah. Trying to, though. Trying to hit somebody.
So I load one up, dude, and it had like a couple rocks in it.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm throwing rock balls because I think one of them hit me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, dude!" It was like the Sandlot movie. I launched this thing, and when it came out of my hand, I said, "That's going through his forehead, dude." And just I just imagine that ball going, smacked him right in the head.
Oh my God, baby. Yeah.
So I went like this. I went
gone,
sprinted home. Got into my house, and I was like, "Oh yeah, they'll never find me here where I live." And they knew where I live. They're my neighbors. Dude, the same thing. They freaking knock on my door, and my grandpa's sleeping for work, and I was like, "Don't wake him up, dude." They woke him up. I was in trouble. I was scared. But Wyatt or Ricky, I don't know which one it was.
Ricky works our Waffle House up here. He's really cool. That boy can cook a mean. What is it? Texas bacon chicken melt. They're so good. He does good there.
Shout out, it's Ricky.
Ricky does that.
Shout out Ricky.
I don't know what Wyatt's doing nowadays because they were my age. I graduated with Ricky, and I think they're twins.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that, but I think I graduated both of them.
The last thing is I was supposed to ask about Hunter trucking you.
Oh yeah. Well. Let me just show you an example here real quick. I'm just going to show you all something real quick. I'm sure you can see me in the whole camera. I'm 5'6" on a good day. I weighed then. I was probably like 5'5", and I weighed 135 soaking wet with all these clothes on. Hunter was huge.
250,
maybe
280,
maybe 310, but was athletic enough to move that 310
run forward.
And it was Friday night under the lights, brother. And
everybody looking at you.
Everybody's looking. I think Luke Walters got hurt, and me and him always subbed in and out for kick return. Saipo always said, grab the ball if you could, because it was always better if Hunter was blocking for me than me to block for Hunter.
But you were in front of Hunter?
No, so we're side by side. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you guys are both kick return.
The ball came to the middle. I'm quicker than Hunter, so I got to the ball.
Yeah.
Hunter's like, give it to me. Gave it to him. He wanted it. Yeah. At the time, he was pretty much captain, so I'm like, take it. A guy's coming cross, so say Hunter's on my left. He's coming. I see guys crossing. So I got to get him. You know what I mean? I'm blocking. So I'm going. I go. Hunter's running. I'm crossing to go get him. Hunter trucks me.
And the kid in front.
And the kid. it looked like if you ever watch pinball.
Yeah. Bounce off you and just keep going.
Like electric. Just electrified all of us. He still kept running. He got a little further than that. I get off. His dad was coaching, which was Matt. Matt's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just blocking." And
Yeah.
he's too big to even be blocking for.
Dude, Robbie Toomey thinks that's so.
I know exactly. I knew that's exactly who told you that. I knew exactly who told you that. I almost called you yesterday and told you it was Robbie Toomey.
Yep.
I knew that, dude.
I wasn't gonna
knew
tell you
that.
until right now. At this
God,
moment.
I wish you would have gave me another chance. You should have said, "So I'm gonna give you one more chance." Dang it, because I
But
did
now
know
you get
that.
to see the realization, dude. A story. So a funny story about my football, dude. I have so many funny football stories that But my favorite one for an entire week, they did this play for Cody Pennick, and it was a halfback pass to Brandon Holder.
Mhm.
He drops back, and you act like you're blocking, take off, and throw the ball. So me and Cody Pennick switched in plays, and I knew that this play was coming. And they were like, because it's automatic 60 yards if that guy sees a guy running, the corner comes off, you're wide open by yourself. So the play comes, and they didn't tell me to go in, but I knew it was coming. So I ran out there, and I was like, Pennick, come on. And they call the play, don't know that I took Pennick out.
Oh my god.
So I'm getting Pennick's play. Dude, so they hit it. The corner comes off me, bro. I'm wide open. I'm like, this is my glory. Catch
Yes.
the ball. I'm sprinting down the sideline. I'm like, dude, I'm about to score a touchdown. Crowd's going crazy. I know I'm in trouble when I go back to the sideline. But then I turn around, dude, and these two guys are like actual coyote or hyenas on my tail. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm this slow. I'm so slow. I had a 40-yard, I bet you I had 30-yard head start. And these dudes tracked me down to like the 5, tackled me. And I was like, man, I stole this guy's play.
And couldn't score.
I'm too slow to score on two guys chasing me down. So Pennick, he always is like, I can't believe you did that, bro. I was like, dude, I did not care.
Dude,
Football was so funny to me.
Oh yeah, dude. Dude, you know what I used to do? I love that. That's how you brought football up. You know, they would be like, they would have their starting offense, or no, it was like, it was varsity's offense, and this was my like second year in it. So that was when Dakota, Marcus, and all them were up there, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to always play safety.
Yep.
Well, Sypal was like, "You're playing corner,"
It happened to me too.
and I was guarding Dakota. And this was just practice.
Yeah.
So I'm practicing. They're calling these plays, right?
Yeah.
I got the damn playbook on my arm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're calling these plays.
You were
I'm
just
like,
guarding the route he was running.
Duh, yeah. And I knew who it was going to. So they're calling these plays, and I'm looking at Dakota's getting ball. I'm like, oh, I'm about to pick it. It was the I feel like a goofy guy because I can't even remember what the play was. It's like a bubble. It's a bubble screen.
Yeah, bubble screen.
Yep. He acts like he's taking off, but he comes back, goes around.
Oh, okay.
I knew the bubble screen was coming.
Yeah.
So and I took it to the house. I took a pick six. And Sypal was like, why in the hell is our sophomore that doesn't even start defense is picking a pick six in practice against our starters? Then you all want to know why we can't win games.
That's hilarious.
Because his ass is reading a play on his arm.
Dude, listen to this. This guy, do you know who Aaron Ware is?
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Ware, goofiest guys. I got 2 stories about Aaron Ware that are worth being told. First, dude, our whole team, I swear to God, we were trash. We weren't trash, actually. All my linemen are going to hate me, but our linemen were too small. I love you guys, but y'all were too small. Josh Brewer, come on, bro. You're as big as me now, and you were blocking.
Oh, Josh. I love Josh.
Dude, I love Josh, but
The fact that he should have never been a lineman, bro.
come on, Josh.
But that was like the bigger guys that we had.
Dude, I know. So, Aaron, we would always pull pranks on people, and one day, everybody's like, it's time to go down to the field, and everyone has, lacing up their cleats, and Coach Davis is like, y'all got 3 minutes, because we're like, no one's able to go to the field. You guys got 3 minutes, get down there. Bro, the only person on the field's Aaron Ware. The only guy that made it to the field. Everyone else only has 1 cleat. Aaron had hid everyone else's 1 cleat. And he didn't tell anyone. He took one of those boxes, the box jumps you jump on?
Yeah.
He hid them all underneath there. And bro, he straight up didn't tell anyone. So we all had to run for 2.5 hours straight on the hill because Aaron would not give up that joke that he hid everyone's shoe underneath.
That is so funny, dude. That's hilarious.
That is something Aaron did. So then we did a
I
7.
could see him doing that.
Then we
That's
did a 7-on-7, and it was like with the heat advisory, you would wear, it was just a helmet, or maybe 7-on-7 was just a helmet. And Aaron never knew the plays, so I was a slot and Aaron was a wide receiver, and every time it would be like, sail right or whatever it was, 490 slant out, and it was so easy, like slant out, and Aaron would be like, "What's my route?" And I'd tell him. Long story short, we ran her out, and this dude is like, "Are you too dumb to know the play?" And Aaron looks back at him, and he's like, "No." He gets like real aggressive with him off the line. Aaron, like the guy takes his helmet off to like readjust or something. He takes that football after he catches it from me to you and throws it at him as hard as he can in the face. Hits him dead square in the face and tackles him, and then comes from behind. Nathan Davis comes, jumps over his back and starts grabbing the guy by the face mask or his teammate and just headbutting him. So, dude, they did not want to come to Grant County because we knew that we weren't winning football games. You were fighting us. Like, we were out there in a fist fight.
You might beat us in this game where it's organized. You ain't.
Dude, and a JV game, I'll never forget this. It was Aaron Ware, me, and Dustin Haar, and they were all like, dude, if I was the punt returner and they like would get really close to me, he was like, dude, don't call for a fair catch and let them kill you, and we're coming out there off the sideline and fighting. I said, dude, but I'm gonna get killed out there. Like, and I was like, all right, this is for the squad, bro. They hit us. The ball comes down. They kill me. And they trample over me, dude. Aaron and Dustin just come out there, and it's just like a free-for-all, just beating. I think it was Simon Kitten's like JV who stomped our ass, but we beat their ass.
Literally. Dude, that is funny, dude.
We used to have a camp where you would go at Camelsville and you'd stay there for multiple days.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas Button, he like basically died, bro. They said he was dehydrated, but he was pulling the wheelchair Andy. I was like, oh shit, he's gone. And dude, but those kids would do some of the wildest stuff, and I was just like, bro, these guys don't care.
Bro, that's what Grant County was like, though. Did you not remember when Jalen and Freddie got in a fight over at
Oh yeah, they knocked each other's tongues out. You ever seen dude? You ever seen a deer where it's like,
yes.
Bro,
dude, I thought I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't even in high school yet. Shouldn't have been there. As a matter of fact, I was in Eagle Creek.
150 people. If you were there, comment for real. 150 people rolled Crittenden Park.
100, dude. I'm thinking 200, and you would have thought that we were at like I felt like when everybody parked there and we're in the very back. I thought like I'm watching the Fast and Furious. All these cars, dude, and the cops show up.
Dude, I've never seen a circle of people so large. First, let's talk about the fight. They get into the middle, bro, and Jalen runs up and hits Freddie as hard as I've ever seen someone hit on a Superman punch while running. Cracks him, and dude goes like this. Boom, lays down and out, eyes roll in the back of his head, and then I swear like the Undertaker goes like this. Arises from the dead, bro. And I swear they would have made a UFC main card. They were banging each other.
They bang, bro. I'm pretty sure that, like you said, tongues out. I think Jalen and Freddie's tongue was like almost bit off.
Dude, I know. They were bad off.
It was really bad.
Then after that, it was like a main card. So then we had this other guy, David Starr is what he goes by now, but Michael Burkhart and him were fighting. Michael is cracking him, like just hitting him, and everyone ever said that the way Michael Burkhart hits is like hitting somebody with a purse, and he's like cracking him like this, and David just like, come on, bitch, is that all you got?
Are you talking about David?
Yeah,
okay, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, and David is just like taking it and is cracking him back, and Michael is just like, I'm about to kill this guy. He's just like the whole time like, come on, bitch. And I was like, dude,
that wasn't
Crittenden Park fights or something.
Oh my God. So then dude, I can't even explain this. Cops roll up. I'm talking
for the Freddie one.
For Freddie one.
No, it was after all this.
Yeah, cops roll up out of nowhere. Nobody stayed.
Dude,
People
it was
got
like
in their
Fast
cars.
and
Bro,
Furious.
me and Dakota got this little Eclipse that he
Driving
had.
through the grass.
Driving through, I'm talking ramping, bro. I'm like, Coda, we gotta stop. What are you doing? He's like, hell no, we're out of here, bro. We're going through it. After we were the last ones to get through, and then I'm pretty sure it was Dennis Schweitzer. He stuck his car right in front of the entrance so nobody could get out.
Then you guys got out there?
We got out though. We got out. I'm like, bro, we gotta go. We gotta go.
I can't remember.
We're in a police chase. What are you doing, bro? Like, oh my god.
Dude, that was...
And then I think the next fight was Tommy Haynes, and is it Tommy Haynes?
Yeah,
Who's
Tommy Haynes.
Yeah, Tommy
Tommy Haynes used to wrestle with us.
Yeah, Tommy Haynes. And
they
then
would always say, your butt stinks.
Dakota.
Something.
Dakota or
Carter?
no, not Carter. It was like he used to date a girl. It was
I don't know him.
Dakota Williams, maybe. I ain't sure. Anyway, fight wasn't very good. Same thing. Cops came, bro. We dipped again. It was crazy, dude. Grant County's just crazy, dude.
You guys are in high pursuit chases. You guys are evading police.
Swear to God, they never called us. That's the one time I was like, "Oh, we're him." I'm like, and Dakota, me, all of us always say, "Hey, bro, drive.
Yeah.
I need you to drive. My hands all fucked up." So I always said that. I mean, when we got in that car, I'm like, "I need you to drive, bro. My hands fucked up." I didn't have a license, but I always said that. But that shit was funny, bro. And when we got in, because the cops came, we just jumped in, started the car, took off. Dakota subs are buzzing everybody's ears. I'm talking, and he's got a million. I'm talking about the one that
Driving through the grass.
yes, it's like a million. Dude,
Bro, this other story is so funny to me. So shout out to Mackenzie Tucker. It was just her birthday. Happy birthday. Dude, we were at Mackenzie Tucker's house, and it was a party. Eli Helton had came in with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and I'm straight edge, so I don't drink. And it's just like this slow heated battle, and I could just feel something bad in the air, and like I was like, oh man, what's going on here? So after a while, he's kind of drinking. We've been making eye contact because he's got my high school girlfriend, and he comes over to me and he's like got this beer bottle like hanging down, and he's like, "Why are you here, bro?" And I was like, "Why are you here? This is all my friends. You're like 3 or 4 years older than us." And he's like holding the beer bottle. I was like, "If you plan on hitting me with that, you better kill me because I'm gonna knock the shit out of you." And he was like, "You ain't gonna do nothing." At this time, like James Tomlin is standing in front of us,
yeah.
and he's like, "Guys, I use James as like momentum, so I pull him back like this." And James, you should tell this story because you were there. I pull him back, and as I do, I use him as momentum to throw myself forward, and I crack Eli so hard in the face, like the hardest I've ever punched somebody. And Blake Dills was like, "You ever seen Rocky where he's hitting the meat?" He's like, "Bro, you were hitting him so hard. I didn't realize what I was doing because he was kind of black out or whatever. I'm hitting him, and then Carissa Walton jumps on my back, and I'm like swinging, and I don't know who's on my back, so I hit her like this, boom. I bust her, and
God.
all I hear is, I was like, "Oh God!" And I look back, and I was like everything stopped, and then Michael Burkhart didn't stop. He jumps over top of my head and just starts hitting Eli again.
That's funny.
So then I worked at McDonald's, and I had to be at work the next day, and Eli's driving through the parking lot because that's all he ever did. They would just hang out in the back.
That was when the one
Bro,
McDonald's.
I seen his face. He had like a freaking softball hanging off of his face, and I was like, "Hey man, you should have got my girl." No, that was so.
That is funny, bro. I remember, dude, the McDonald's parking lots are always fun.
Dude, there was wild crap happening there, and I always got to see it because like I could just like hang my head like. Dude, I was the guy taking the order.
Yeah, so you can hang your head back out.
I'd be like, "What y'all doing back there?" I'd be like, "You guys are so stupid. I'm getting paid to be here," and I was getting like $7 an hour.
Hey, bro, yeah.
Grant County, I've had a lot of good times there. I thought it was super fun to be able just to sit and tell old stories. We didn't really have much that we were gonna say.
I mean, like we said in the beginning, we just threw this.
Yeah.
We just threw this out. So yeah.
So I hope people find it to be. I hope you guys have fun watching this, and if you don't, then just don't turn it back on. And realize
don't turn back on this time. Just look back in next Monday and see what it is.
But I guess the last thing we should touch on is something from the shop. So this week was fun. Me and Buckwheat are our favorite thing to do is when Danny says he's not going to lunch, we try to get him to go to lunch with us.
Yeah. Whatever Danny says he's not doing, we try to get him to
Yeah.
do just to see if we can get him to do the opposite.
So he's been talking about getting a new truck, or he wasn't even talking about getting a new truck. For the longest time, Danny, he just paid his Silverado off, and he was like, "I'll drive his truck till it falls apart." Blah blah blah.
It's falling apart.
It was falling apart. So it fell apart faster than he thought, and the frame was rusted out, and I think it wasn't as bad, but don't tell Danny that because he's gonna feel bad. He just bought. Anyway, so me and Buckwheat, we kind of got him riled up about buying a new truck.
He brought up a new truck that he was looking at in Dry Ridge, which was the new Is it TRD?
TRD Tundra.
Yeah, the Tundra, the new Tundra. The Coyote Brown. He calls it the Mud Brown.
Mud Brown,
fully loaded, super awesome truck.
Nice truck.
Anyway,
dude.
He's like, I don't know. I got to talk to my wife. Yada yada yada. Logan is on the other end of the entire shop than Danny is. I'm by Danny, and then it's Dakota, and then it's Anthony, then Logan. So Logan's yelling down at the shop, just go buy it, dude. You deserve it. Go buy it. I'm like, why don't you just call up there and just try to get some stuff started?
Dude, so all day we're like, dude, just call. He's like, I'm going to call. I'm like, dude, just get on the phone and call them. Just see what numbers they got for you. And he's like, dude, they only going to give me like $3,000 for my truck and like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, whatever. No, they're going to give you like, I thought they would give him like at least 10 to 12. Buckwheat said he's lucky to get $500.
Yeah, I was thinking, pretty much what Danny said, but just to make him feel a little worse, I said lower.
But they ended up, he called, he got all the numbers ran, and we basically peer pressured our friend into buying an $80,000 truck.
Dude, my favorite thing was, before he left, because, he did this all during work day. He did most of it during lunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, most of it,
I didn't know because I came to work and it was sitting out there. So it was sitting out back. So
before that, so the day before that, he was talking about it, and I was like, bro, just call up there, see what they say. He says he gave him his information. He said all they said, and he comes back into work, and he's like, all they need now is just the VIN number. He's like, and I ain't got it. And I'm like, good thing your insurance company's right up the street.
Yeah, the insurance right up 3 doors up.
3 doors up. Go up there and there. He's like, oh, I guess I could do that.
That's pretty smart.
He's like, all right, I'll go do that on lunch. So he goes does that on lunch. The next day, I'm like, so what'd they say on the truck? He's like, they didn't call. I'm like, then you call them.
Yeah, you got to call them. Dude.
Yeah, what do you mean? He's like, well, then he obviously don't want to sell it. I'm like, then go to somebody else. Do you want the truck or not, dude?
Yeah.
So long story short of this entire thing is we talked a grown man into buying an $80,000 truck before he even said anything to his wife, and we thought that was funny.
But then we talked him into it, and then we gave him a complex because Tundras have promotional financing right now for 2.99%.
Don't be telling people that, but we ain't helping Toyota. We ain't helping Toyota.
We ain't helping Toyota. Dry Ridge Toyota. Actually, Marshall's always donated to the wrestling team, so thank you.
Okay.
But we found out we were wrong. We were bullying Danny because
we were right. They just did the promotionals didn't count for the TRD pros.
Yeah. So I was like, Danny, so you got the 2.99% financing, blah blah blah. And he looks at me and goes,
No.
I said, what do you mean no? That's the promotion. Tundra, iForce Max, 2.99%. That's what you got.
Yeah,
he's
like, add 5 to that. We're like,
yeah.
Are you serious? And Logan's like, they got your bitch ass.
I'm basically the whole time like, they seen a sucker coming. They seen a dumbass walk through the door and said they should have stamped it on your forehead.
Literally.
So
walk in there. Hey, you got 8% interest? I'll take it.
So make it 9.
Yes.
So I'm fishing myself because I'm like, dude, they got my guy. Like, I feel bad. So I call
Florence
Toyota, and I'm like, if I want to get a Tundra right now for 2.99% and I got an 800 credit score, y'all got me? They're like, yep, come sign the papers. And I said, well, I'm just curious why my friend bought one at Dry Ridge and he's paying almost 8%. And they were like, oh man, I don't know. That's something you'd have to take up with them. And I was like, thank you, sir. Got off the phone. Danny feels even more like a dumbass. And long story short, I still don't believe this. I feel like this is some salesman bullcrap. But they said Tundra's 2.99% till March 5th. Not Danny's.
No, they just said it's all in the models that ain't the brand new pros. He was like, because all the other models they need to sell. Yeah, so they're offering these promos on these other.
So if you work at a car dealership, let me know if that's true or not.
Yeah,
'cause if not,
real.
Danny.
Ernie works. You don't know Ernie, or is it Ernie? I think it's Ernie or Lenny, or I'm saying Ernie. Ernie, I think works in Dry Ridge. So Ernie, if you see this somehow, I know you're like.
If your name's even Ernie,
I think your name's Ernie. But he's like 87, bro. He's been there forever. I don't think he's gonna see this. But if you do,
let us.
Actually, what's her face's dad works there.
Who?
Morgan Lawrence. Her dad works there. That'd be perfect. We know Morgan Lawrence. So, Morgan, if you see this, tell your dad to tell you what the percentage.
Call us
just to see if that's the truth.
I just want to know why Danny ain't getting the good deal.
Yes.
And yeah, so we talked the grown man into buying.
I said, bro, if you would have known that it was it wasn't $299,
he did know. He signed the paper and they told.
I was like, would you have went and bought it? He's like, oh yeah, I would have bought it. I'm like, you're a dumbass. But yeah, he didn't know anything about the $299. He said he had like 11 options. So I said, I guess your bitch ass took the cheaper one too, didn't you?
So if y'all come into the shop, just try to sell Danny something. Like all you gotta do is just keep telling him, and you probably get him up to about 30% interest. And he won't say nothing.
With kids that have Girl Scout cookies, Danny is your guy.
The candy bars that you sell for fundraisers,
yes,
Danny's got you
easily. I want to take Danny to Vegas because all those guys that be trying to sell their albums on the corner and
dude,
stuff.
or those guys that just like,
oh yeah,
do this. Yeah, they're
escorts here.
I don't think Danny would obviously do that, but I never would take them. Danny'd had 40 of those things.
Oh yeah, like, Danny's the type of guy. If you walk up to him, whatever you're handing out, he'd be like, okay. And he'd be like this after all. He'd be like,
oh,
so how I get a hold of you? He'd be like, all right, so
I'll be calling.
I'll call you. I swear I will. See you later.
Dude,
Danny's the type of guy that he's not a no guy. He's whatever gets this thing over faster than it has to be.
Dude, he hates us.
Yes, Danny is funny. He's actually
we got to get Danny on this show.
He's going to be on this weekend, but he is at
he went
to
to
RV and Boat Show.
Dude, he was like, I'm going to take my woman on a romantic trip
for
Valentine's Day weekend. We're going drum roll boat and RV show.
Yes.
Bro. Dude,
I said, what is romantic about
that, bro?
He was like, bro, we're going to walk around, drink beers, look at boats and RVs. I'm like,
hell
you're living it, bro.
Dude, you are living it.
Yes.
Bro, Danny, thank you for living it.
For real. Thanks for just existing.
Let's get you on the show.
It's more fun with you than without you.
Yeah.
I think I don't know who's going to be our first guest, but I feel like Danny should be.
I think Danny definitely needs to be up there.
Yeah.
We do have some guests lined up.
Yes, and that will be coming. What we want. I wanted to do a couple with just us to start it out.
Yeah,
we're 3 in now.
Yeah. So Ben Ship is scheduled. He'll be here. So the March 3rd show, Ben will be on. Okay. I'm excited about that one.
For sure.
And
I'm definitely gonna have Ronnie 1 on here. So
yeah, we got to get Ronnie 1, and we got to get.
And I'll have him. I would love to have him explain the hunting story.
I'd love to have him explain a bunch of stories.
Yes, and he'll explain the name Buckwheat because I've heard a few different examples, and they're both pretty stupid. I mean, the name's stupid, but I'm gonna let him explain it because he would know the most about it.
Yep.
My great grandma told me a different story, and I was like, there ain't no way they named me after that. So.
Well, I feel like this will just turn into us telling stories, but I think that's fun.
I mean, yeah. Long it wasn't boring like the last one. I guess
it might have been boring, but they might like it.
It's gonna take time. It's gonna. I mean, we're still new to this.
Yeah.
I mean, Logan's done a little bit more than I have because he's doing, some single interviews, which I think I might have some coming up as well.
For sure.
But
I think those would be fun. You should, do some with whoever you want. I think you don't.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, whoever you could think
Yeah,
of.
but I do have some people in mind. I know
Denise would be a good
I was gonna say Denise would
Yeah,
be the
Denise would be a
first
good one.
probably.
And then if you guys got anything you want to see or hear from us, let us know.
Yeah, for sure. This has been real. It's been fun. It just probably wasn't real fun.
Yeah, it wasn't real fun. It was real fun for us, and it was real fun for you. But like together, I don't know.
Yeah.
But everybody that I've talked to has said that this feels like they're sitting in the room with us hanging out, and that's what we want it to be. So.
Yeah, that's. I just want it to be, even for the people that don't know us, somewhere you're like you're just sitting here with us.
Yep.
You're just hanging out, chilling, listening to some funny stories, listening to some funny things. Nothing's really happened, in the last week that really popped off on our heads where we should talk about that. So
no, but I got a lot of funny stories to tell about the barbershop and stuff, and
for sure,
I'm just trying to save them for lined up with the guests that they go
that we
along
have.
with.
Yeah, that we have.
So, yeah, thanks for listening to our stories, and we'll catch you next week.
See you later.